So that is pretty much it. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, so even though I'm a compulsive liar,
Yeah.
and I peddle conspiracies like a bicycle,
Yeah.
and I'm too lazy to listen to any voters that aren't billionaire donors who already bribed me, and then I even have the audacity to pretend everybody else is lazy for not being a millionaire, even though the only reason I'm a millionaire is because I married rich.
Yeah.
And because of all this, most people will never vote for me. But you're saying I can still get reelected? Mm-hmm. Yes. What does it cost?
Democracy.
Sold! Wait. What if all the people who don't like me show up to vote anyway?
Do whatever you can to make sure that doesn't happen.
I'll start writing some laws.
I'm drawing your district.
Oh yeah? Can I see it? Do you think you can make it look more like an angel?
Gerrymandering as a political tool has gained a lot of traction in conversations over the last few years as a strategy that makes or breaks elections in one direction or another. And today, I want to talk about a very specific place we saw this happening and ultimately will likely be the reason the Democrats lose control of the House of Representatives. New York. It's a wild scenario, but the flips from blue to red in New York that have racked up show a state on the local level that is quite vulnerable to the GOP. So here's perhaps the biggest story of the night on this front. Representative Sean Patrick Maloney, the chair of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, or DCCC, aka the man who decides where money is allocated for Democratic candidates in their elections, was defeated by Republican Mike Lawler in a humiliating loss for Democrats. And so this was sort of a wild scenario where Maloney jumped districts after his original district was gerrymandered. He jumped districts to try and find himself a safe seat. He went up against progressive Democrat Mondaire Jones, and now on November 10th, 2022, both of those former House members are not headed back to Washington. But the second biggest story that's maybe still in conspiracy theory era is how a certain ousted political giant may have been responsible for all of this. And that person is Andrew Cuomo. Many on the left, including AOC, are blaming the former governor of New York for appointing conservative-leaning judges to the state's redistricting committees. Back in 2012, during the last once-in-a-decade redistricting cycle, he signed a GOP gerrymandered map into law. So basically, we are seeing the results of over a decade's worth of Cuomo's trying to solidify his own political power while throwing his own party under the bus. Slate reports that Cuomo routinely elevated conservative appointees, gleefully scoring points against his progressive opponents in Albany and New York City by moving the judicial branch rapidly to the right. In particular, he appointed 4 conservative-leaning judges to 14-year terms on the Court of Appeals, the state's highest judicial body. And look at these numbers out of New York right now. As of the time I'm filming, control of the House of Representatives is as close as it is because of Andrew Cuomo's ego. And luckily people are talking about it and demanding that New York Democrats take a strong look within their own party for what the heck is going on. As we know, Democrats fared very well in the midterms, which is great. But the fact that they lost seemingly unlosable races is a major cause for alarm. We all know the right is going to do some serious soul searching and come back in 2 years with strategy and discipline. And the left needs to look at the situation in New York not as an aberration, but as a warning if we want any chance to maintain power in 2024. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.